Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife Kara's busy. And this is the Kansept Kryo in D2 steel and micarta with steel liners. Great EDC size at basically 3.5 inches. It's a little over 3.5, 8 inches overall. We'll do some size comparisons at the end if you're interested. But thank you to Kansept for supporting us by sending us some knives for review. They know we do the good and the bad, and we're completely honest with all our reviews, and they've only supported that by sending us knives and letting us check out some of the knives that they have. They have an amazing catalog for 2021. I'm really excited about all the knives they have coming out. They have a bunch of knives from last year too. You can get a lot of their models right now, but they have basically knives dropping every month, and they all look amazing to me. I'm hoping to get my hands on many of them because, which we already do, but even the ones that are going to be coming out as time goes on, because they look pretty awesome, guys. They look pretty awesome. And Kansept is doing an incredible job. Their knives are really, really good. Top-notch knives. Great prices. They're doing awesome work. So, the Kryo, man. The Kryo. Let's get into it. So, first off, I just want to say, amazing ergos. Amazing ergos. This thing feels so good in the hand. You have a ton of control with this knife, and behind the edge thickness is about 15,000, so it's super slicey. It's not like a complete full flat, but it's very close, and it feels like it. It cuts so good. Brought it to work with me, and if you guys don't know, when I, at work, I use my knives all the time at work, constantly at work. I'm always breaking down cardboard and lots of different things. But brought it to work, was using it, and it did one thing that I love about a good EDC knife or a good work knife. Easy in and out of the pocket, easy one-hand opening, right to the cut, blazes through the material because it cuts so good, but then right back in the pocket. And then there's times where I like to be able to close my knife and use my hand, because like if I need to use my knife at work, right, I get it out of my pocket, open it up, make my cut, and then I might still need that knife, so I don't necessarily want to put it back in my pocket, but I want to quickly close it up and use that hand that I have the knife in. And this knife is really good for that. It's really easy to put in and out of the pocket. We'll get to the clip in a second, but out of the pocket, you can make a cut. You can very fast get it back closed so that you don't have to risk the blade being out, and you can use your hand to control things. Get it back out and make your cut, back it, close it back up. Very good for that. I like that a lot, and I felt like I had a lot of control with it, and it was very useful at work. So I did sharpen it, but the sharpening video, I just did a full sharpening video. I will be uploading that as a full video itself, but I did do a full sharpening, recorded the whole thing. So if you are interested in the sharpening of this blade, because it does have a slight baby recurve, but I did it on a flat stone. So if you're interested in freehand sharpening on a flat stone, this blade, then definitely watch that. Now, cutting with it after I sharpened it, because I barely laid the edge back. I really basically kept the same angle they had because it did have a good angle on it. But, I did notice a little, not really chipping, but, a little bit of chips in the edge that I couldn't get out, without sharpening. But I did use it a lot, so did a full sharpening on it, and then started cutting with it again, and the cutting only improved, because obviously putting your own edge on it can improve the cutting performance, which it did, and it cuts very, very well. I'm very happy with the way it slices and cuts. Even with the utility cuts are really good. You have a lot of the ergos are really good, so you have a lot of leverage into your utility cuts. Very comfortable in the hand with the utility cuts. Even though this isn't primarily a utility cutting knife, it still works extremely, extremely well. Very easy. The tip is strong yet acute enough to do utility cuts. So perfect. Love a drop point blade. And if you look at the blade, you see, like I was saying earlier, it has a slight little tiny bit of recurve. Now, in sharpening, if the recurve is too much, then you do have to have special stones, or you have to actually be very knowledgeable about sharpening a shape like this. This one isn't to that extent. You know, you could, like I said, I show how to sharpen it in the sharpening video, but it does have the little bit of benefits that you get from a recurve. Now, it's not going to have the full benefits of a full recurve, but just enough where it basically traps the material in this section of the blade right here, pulling it in to the belly where it holds that material in there as you're cutting. Now, the choil, didn't have no problems with the choil. They did, it's basically the plunge grind ends about right there. So they gave you enough, and this is after sharpening it. And it basically goes to about right there. So they did leave you enough. Do I like deeper choils? Yes. But this is still fine, and it worked just fine. Let's talk about the action. Or you know what? Let's talk about the ergos, then we'll go to the action, because the ergos are so good with this thing. Straight back design, which is going to give you lots of pressure through your push cuts, and even just basically laying it in the hand, thumb on the spine, this is so comfortable. It slices very good. Like I said, lots of control with the cutting, and even though it doesn't have neutral grips, meaning it has spaces for your fingers, those placements are perfect for my hand. Personally, for my hand, I could even hold it back a little bit and let the butt of it sit against my palm very comfortably. And just, yeah, basically every grip, even in reverse grip to cut some straps. And I did cut some straps with it. So worked really good. My fingers lay right across that flat spine. Bang, popping straps was very, very easily. Ergos, amazing. It has a great thickness and depth. And the micarta just makes it feel very soft, warm, and comfortable in the hand. It feels very, very good in the hand. Now, action. Amazing. Amazing action. The detent is it's perfectly tuned, and this is sometimes a problem for companies, is to get the detent tuned for a flipper and for the hole. Now this one, it is perfect for all forms of deployment. It just works good. It's not a strong detent, but it's not a light detent. It's right there in the middle where it's so easy to reverse flick. You can do it with the meat of your finger or with the nail. You can go up high or you can go down low. And the flipper tab, some people complain about pocket peggers, and I don't worry about that one bit. Give me a flipper tab that works. Give me a flipper tab that's comfortable, and give me a flipper tab that's going to give me the amount of leverage to open the knife every time. And that's what they did here. And I'm very happy with it. One, you can go right over the top like that and do the light switch, and it rockets out. Or you can go right to the point and push button it. Rockets out. Or you can just do like the hook, basically where you like just hook the corner and yank. I mean, it works great in every way. I sometimes get it by the side right here and just pull down like that. So it's like that. But yeah, works great, man. The action is amazing. Now the lock bar, very easy to get to, which even though they have this cutout right here, it also acts super comfortable with the finger. This part of my finger lays right over that very comfortably. Nice access, and you're already past the detent. So it's basically always past the detent. The detent is nice and early. So even if I hold it up high, it's still pretty much past. If I go all the way up here, which you don't do, I'm obviously going to stop it, and it'll be on the detent ball, which you can easily push past. But if you just go right where it's natural, never have an issue with it hitting the detent ball. And the drop on it, very smooth. Another thing, I really like this lockup. When you slow roll it, you can feel it lock in place Watch how I'll go really, really slow. I like that. Let me get the mic over here. It's like it pulls it right into lockup. I like that. Which assures me that it's locked up, rock solid, and I know that. I can hear it, I can feel it, I can actually feel the lockup engaging. Very, very strong lockup. I did test it. Great. Side to side, solid. I mean, I have no play whatsoever yet. Very, very smooth. Now, at first, I did notice like it sounded like a little gritty, but all that is the detemp ball rubbing on the coating. And after some KPL heavy, it's smoothened right out. And also after about 2 days, maybe 3 days of flipping, yeah, man, it just got so smooth. Nice and centered, perfectly centered. Now let's go to that clip. The clip, man, oh my God, it works so good. This is a great, great clip. And the colors, you know, go good together. It's got the black and the brown. I really like that. These do come in other colors too, just so you know. They are green micarta. They have the non-coated blade, I think, with the carbon fiber. If I'm correct, I think I'm right about that. I might be wrong. Either way, but they have different versions, basically. They have different micartas, and yeah, check it out if you're interested, with a different color if this isn't your style. But the clip works so good. No, it's not set in the micarta, and it doesn't have flat screws, but it works perfect in and out of the pocket. No problems. It's super easy. And one thing that you guys, if you guys watch my videos, you know I like to be able to put my knife in and out of my pocket very fast, get it open, ready to cut back in my pocket. I like to be able to get to my knife fast, open it up, do whatever I need to do with my knife, and put it back in my pocket one-handed. Not only that, I like to be able to do it without problems, without it, you know, ripping my pocket and snagging my pocket and chewing up the lining of my pocket. I don't want that. And this doesn't do any of that. The tension is great. It's not heavy tension, but it's the perfect amount of tension, and there's plenty of room underneath it for thick pants. Now, I didn't have any issues with the screws. You know, I would rather see flat screws just in case, but I didn't have any issues personally. Hardware, all T8s except for the clip. The clip does have T6s, but the rest is T8s. Love to see that. They even added an extra stop pin, or not stop pin, an extra standoff right here to add to the strength, which it does. It's nice and strong, very durable. The liners are inset in there. Let's see if we can get it to come up because they are dark. And it does have lightning holes, milling holes, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, there's holes drilled into the liner to do weight relief. I handed this to a buddy who's not great at flipping knives. He's just not that great. Like, he can get it, but he kind of has to do like one of those. He grabbed it and just went pink, and it was like, whoa. He's like, I like this. Because it's just easy. It's so easy for anybody to flick. Your grandma could flick this and open it. It's very, very easy. It's very easy to reverse flick too. Like, if you're not a great reverse flicker, it's kind of hard to fail this. Now, like I said, sharpening video, go check that out. It's a full video if you want to see the sharpening of it. Now, let's talk about some bad things, because, you know, every knife usually has a few. This one, I'll tell you what, in order to find some bad things about this, I do have to nitpick. So let the nitpicking begin. One, like I said, I'd like to see the pocket clip inset into the micarta. I'd like to see flat screws, because then it doesn't matter how thick your jeans are, how thick your pocket lining is, it won't have any issues. Next thing, you know, the T6s on the clip, I'm not that really worried about because it's not reversible, but you know, but I still like to see T8s, you know. I don't really like T6s, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. Next thing, I also want to say, too, before I really get into the bad, the coating has held up really good. I forgot to mention that I have cut with it a lot. I have used it a lot. So far, so good. Now, I'm not saying if I didn't, you know, rub it across a staple or something that it wouldn't scratch it. Of course it would. But so far, through regular cutting, through tape, cardboard, rope, straps, it's been fine. Now, back to the bad. I'd like to see a bit, not bigger, but deeper choil. You know, the plunge grind is right here. The plunge grind's right there. So they did give you plenty to do a few sharpenings. I just like to see it where if I want to lay my edge back and do repeated sharpenings after laying my edge back, I have the room to do that. So I'd like to see a little bit deeper choil, you know, but they still did it good. So compared to a lot of other knives, this is amazing. And I'd rather have this type of choil than a lot of other choils. So just putting that out there. Next thing, their micarta. It's good micarta, okay? And especially for this price, I can't complain about this. But I'm pulling nitpicks. Remember that, guys. I'm nitpicking. I'd like to see a little bit better micarta. The micarta's okay, but it doesn't seem like it's the highest quality micarta, but it's okay. It's decent. Next thing, this has a small recurve, okay? It's such a tiny recurve that you're really not getting the benefits out of the recurve, but you are having to sharpen it a specific way. Now, do you have to go all out, like sharpening a full-fledged recurve? No. But you can't also do it as easily as a flat edge or just a regular drop point. So it's not as easy as doing if it did not have this small bit of recurve, which it is a very, very little amount. But it is there. You can see how the edge kind of curves in a little bit. So right here isn't lined up perfectly with this side and this side. It kind of rolls in right here at the edge. So I'd rather just see it be a plain drop point, get rid of that slight recurve, then it'd be easier for people to sharpen, and it's going to cut just as good as if it was now. You're not getting much benefit out of it. Maybe a tiny smidgen, but not enough for, you know, for it to really matter too much. So all in all, man, great knife. Great knife. Let's do some quick size. Oh yeah. Stop pin is an internal stop pin. Love to see that. It's going to add to the strength. That's why it's probably so solid side to side, but it is a decent size and it is internal. You can see it right there following around. Oh, one other little nitpick. I'd like to see them, because I know the detent track broke in really quickly, but right off the bat, it did have a little bit of a rubbing sound. Not much. You know, both this one had a two, just a little bit, hear that? But it's super smooth. Don't get me wrong. Super smooth. But I'd like to see them just break the track in, like don't coat that part of the blade where the detent's going to roll, and then right off the bat it'll be just as smooth as a satin blade. And you know, it's just that one little spot or that little track right here where the detent ball rolls. Don't coat that. That would be nice, but like I said, this is just crazy nitpicking at this point because it'll break in itself, you know, just by flipping it. So here is another Kansept, the Kansept Main Street. Basically the same size. So if you like this knife, but you want a Wharncliffe, this is a great option. Another great knife. Another one that's very similar in size, the Spyderco PM2. Just to show you really the size, size. A lot of people know the PM2. Another one is Civivi's Riffle, same size, good size comparison. Another one by Civivi, but it's a Sencut, the Sencut Actium. Another great, fantastic knife. Now, one more by Sencut, which I haven't reviewed yet, the Prickle, that comes in a couple different blade shapes, but if you want something a little slimmer, here you go. Basically the same length, just slimmer. And then if you want something a little bit more expensive, if budget knives really aren't your option, you have the Kansept Accipiter. I also have another one that's really, really nice, but I haven't reviewed it yet. But yeah, this is a great, great knife. The Accipiter, love this knife. It's a front flipper, but man, does it front flip good. So, oh yeah, the prickle is also a front flipper. I forgot to say that. So there you guys go. Thank you, Kansept. Hopefully you guys liked the review, and check out the sharpening video if you're into freehand sharpening. I have a whole playlist of sharpening videos on how to sharpen different things, little techniques, and full sharpening videos to sharpening talk, knife talk episodes. I have a lot of stuff in my playlist. Definitely check out my playlist. And yeah, check out the links in the description. If you want to see the catalog, it's in the description, linked. I love you guys. Peace.